It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.
Good evening, model citizens. Welcome to Humanity Junction. My name is Heath, and tonight is Modeling Monday. We are going to attempt to fix this this mess of a module that's sitting next to me. I've zoomed in on my face, and now I'm a little scared that maybe I zoomed in too far. But we'll fix that maybe at some point later today. But while we're watching the live streams that are out there, let's take a look and see who's joined us tonight. If you've made a comment recently, you should pop up on the list. I've seen some people make comments that are no longer on the list, so I'll say hello to who I can see, and if I can't see you, I apologize. We got Rob from Why Are You Naked 4. We've got Tom from Tom's Trains and Things. Dave, Sparky107 in the house. John from Schuylkill River Valley, the creator of the list we're seeing up here. We got Steven from Wigwag Workshop. Roy Eltham's in the house. Robert Darby's here as well. Rebel in Trains is joining us. We've got Ray Ron VR. We've got Rusty, Possum Bayou. We've got Marty from M&M Short Lines. Lynn McCurdy and the HD MMRC is in the house. We've got Lauren Hurwitz here. We've got Edward Cady joining us. Dwight Curley is here as well. We've got Gary, Creepy013, Tim from CP368 Productions. We've got Awesome America Model Railroading Artie in the house. Anthony Opa Dodge, the Model Train Outsiders here. Andy Estep in the house. Adam Cruz joining us as well. We've got Marty's Train Shed. I haven't seen you in a little while. I think I've seen you before, but if you're new here, please let us know. Let's see. I already said hello to Sparky. Pappy from Trigoglin, John from Wimble Trains in the house. I do want to point out, if you guys notice, people that are channel members, next to their names, there's a Human City Junction logo. And if you notice, some people's are red, and some people's were, what other color? Green. A couple different colors, yellow ones. What these are is people that have been channel members. It's the length of time that they've been a member of the channel. So I definitely want to thank everybody that has become a channel member, either here or on Patreon. So I did want to show, I've been doing some cleanup of the studio, which is that Rebel and Trains needs a new name. I don't own my Rebel anymore, so my name. Oh, Rebel's from the motorcycle. Used to own a Honda Rebel. I never had a Honda Rebel, but I always rode Hondas. So I did want to show off the studio. Please remind me to do it later. Unfortunately, the camera I was going to use, I thought was charged. It wasn't charged. Mistakes were made. It's sitting over there on the side charging up. Hopefully in a little bit, half hour or so, maybe remind me as well. Unfortunately, there's no link between Patreon and YouTube. So if you're a member on Patreon, you know, I'm going to roll my thank you right now so people can see who the members on Patreon are. But yeah, YouTube members, because of the integration, you get fancy all features and stuff like that. But what's great about Patreon is I get a little more of the cut, so it works out well for me. But thank you, Patreon members, YouTube members, sponsors, and everybody that supports the channel, which enables me to do the craziness that I'm doing. So while you guys weren't here, I was trying to set up my jib camera for the overhead shot so we could start working on stuff today. And I think I took out all kinds of stuff behind me, so we'll see how that goes. Rusty, thank you so much, sir. The anti-glare hat fund. Yeah, if I've got this camera in the wrong spot, you can definitely see the glare on the top of my head. But I'm trying to keep it lined up over the desk as much as possible to not embarrass myself and to not scare off as many people as possible. No live trombone music tonight. I used to play the trumpet, not the trombone, but it's not here, and probably haven't played it in 30 years at this point. So, yeah, wow, it's been 30 years, hasn't it? Do have a poll going. We've got 40 votes so far. 77% of people say they make mistakes all day. 22% of people say that they're perfect. I'm guessing that never mind. I'm going to keep my mouth quiet. Has hair for the first time in 20 years. Gave up the military cut. Gotcha. Yeah, unfortunately, my hair situation is not really by choice. Yeah, I could get a little baby powder for the head, but you know, I like to keep it all natural, as they say. I am wearing pants, but you know. Roy says 23% of people are liars, referring to the poll. He said it, not me. Yeah, Dwight said he was perfect. I've seen your videos, Dwight. I've heard you talk about some of your mistakes. So, yeah. And I guess that's, that... Oh, I just realized I forgot to remove the paddles that are in here. That's part of why I want to work on this module tonight. When I first made this module, and I don't know, is this out of focus or is it just that I can't see? I think it is actually out of focus. Yeah, it's focusing on the wrong thing. When I first made this, I wasn't necessarily planning on putting all the structures and stuff up here. But now that I've made it, I want more structures up here. I want to continue this out a little bit more. I also feel like this is really, really deep for N scale. So part of the other thing that I want to do is fill this in a little bit if possible. So I got Sculpt-A-Mold, I got buckets of rocks, I've got new rocks, I've got rock faces, I got all kinds of rock stuff. If people don't know, I can talk about how I made these rocks, but I think most people know. Maybe they don't. Can I use dull coat? I'm assuming you're talking about on my head. Yeah, I like having these trains back here, if I can find it. Yeah, there's something nice about just having trains run. I rearranged a bunch of stuff back here as well to make things a little bit easier. You notice up top I've got a GG1 with a Pennsylvania baggage car, it's a half baggage, half coach. And then behind it is New York Central. So I've got a little bit of a Pennsylvania, New York Central combo thing. Unfortunately, it is really loud, so I'll have to turn it off after it makes one loop, but I do love being able to see the trains below and the trains up top, and, you know, just watching. I don't know, it's good. I like watching things go around in circles. Woo-hoo! I should have the LGB stuff running again next week. For now, the LGB stuff is not running. It hits the sides, so I'm getting some little pieces to spread things out so that doesn't happen. But Dwight Curley, thank you, Dwight. Thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, this is what I've always kind of wanted, is just to be able to have trains running, and I don't really run them during the day when I'm down here working, but I just like having them around. You know, the passenger stuff in the back there, I love passenger trains. I can't get enough of passenger trains. I know a lot of people are into the freight, but for me, you know, this is seeing the Z-scale Atlantic Coastline with the N-scale Broadway Limited, with the HO scale 1776 GG1 that doesn't even really exist, but it's pretty cool. Yeah, I have a Penn Central in HO scale. I don't have Penn Central in anything else. So I'm running things. You know, I'm running things a little bit older than that, I guess you can say. But yeah, I definitely have to adjust this camera a little bit. I made it tighter because I thought I was too far away, but now I feel like I'm too close, and I'm yeah. I have a combination layout, display, office, hobby, workspace, storage in a New York space. I do now. I have got a 9 to 5. I'm doing contract work right now, and this is my office, so I spend all my time in here. So here's the thought. First, I thought I'd put this culvert in, and then what I think I'm gonna do is maybe try and readjust. I'm gonna try and readjust some of these sort of paths. The idea is, the theory is the water goes through this part of the wood. You know, it comes off the mountain here, goes down under the tracks because they, you know, need to put a culvert in to go under the tracks, and you know, they'll come out this culvert and they'll pool in here. But then this was supposed to be like a little river that then dumps down into this, but it's all shaped wrong. It's just shaped wrong. So yeah, I don't know that I'm going to cut into this. I think what I'm actually going to do is just build up around it. This is the Woodland Scenic Shaper sheet, so I don't know how well it's going to cut. Yeah, for me as well, it's that tranquility of the clack, 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 that repetitive sound over and over again. Combination Pizza Hut and Taco Bell, not quite. There's actually a place down by Bed Bath & Beyond that's like an Auntie Anne's and a pizza place and all kinds of other stuff, and it's, yeah. Lauren Horowitz says, perhaps it's because you're a people person. I think he's just talking about how I'm too close to the, or how I think I'm too close. I don't actually really like people. At least not in person. No, I'm just kidding. It's all good. Hello, John Train. John, I don't know if you noticed, if you saw the overhead shot. Some of the cars I got from you are up there. There's, you can't really see me, but there's one up there, there's one up there, and then there's one at the other end. So, so yeah, I don't know. Unfortunately, I don't really know where to start on this, but I need to just start somewhere. So I figure I'll start with the culvert. I was just moving the paddles so that hopefully I don't lose the paddles. Yeah, I agree. That's what's needed, a 360 cam. Yeah, so it's not working, but I've got this camera up there. It's a GoPro. It's got a really wide view, and you could see not the top as much, but you can see pretty much the whole room. So it gives like a nice overview. And when it works, it's great. It just doesn't seem to be working. Steven, I don't know that camera in particular, but a lot of the Vixias would work. So, yeah, Sparky's saying start at the end. Tom says, do I have another corner section? Yes, there is another one. Let's see, if I remove your comment, you can see there's another one of the Woodland Scenics ones down here. I'm sure I'm going to mess this one up. Just because that's kind of my thing, right? I mean, I kind of just screw things up. The door to the office is right to my that side. So the door is right over there. I don't have any cameras pointing at it right now, but oh, do I? I don't have it. I do have images and stuff in various places that shows the top-down view of the office, so you can kind of see it. It's I think it's 8 feet this way and 9 feet the other way and 11 feet high. So being 11 feet high, this is why I've got stuff stacked to the ceiling, because that's the only way to get stuff in. Okay. Yeah, Anthony, this is so true. That you know, the GoPro that I've been having issues with claims that it should work as a webcam, but I just, you know, it's just not. It keeps crashing on me, and yet Jason the Train Freak is using a GoPro as his, and it's so much better. Who else has t-trak? So the reason I got into t-trak initially was I joined, or I should say I went to a meeting of the N-Scale, not t-trak, what's the other one? N-trak. There's an N-trak club in New York. Yeah, I am always confused with my left and right. I know. Yeah. Always confused. Gee. Lynn says, I mentioned to Tom Strains and things, the reason you play elevator music is because of how tall your room is. Yes, Edward, so the window is to my right, where I'm standing right now. And it's closed right now. And give me like 10 more minutes and I'll get the other camera out and we'll look at it. Oh, so I joined the Brooklyn N-Track Club. Yeah, see, this needs to be up here higher. The Brooklyn N-Track Club at their meetings do t-trak. And I don't know that I'll ever necessarily hook these modules up to other people, but it gives me enough to make a loop here. And I kind of consider these my chainsaw layouts, meaning that, you know, these probably are going to get destroyed at some point, but it's the idea of it. Yeah, Anthony, I know you're connecting yours via Wi-Fi. My goal was to connect it via a USB cable to keep the latency down. It's not working. There's a ton of latency. So I'm going to start this by gluing this culvert to the wall. Just with some Aliens glue. I'm going to line this up with the top here. So you can kind of... And I just broke it, but that's okay. Pushed a little too hard and cracked it. So we're going to start with the culvert there, and I'm going to start then filling in. Yes, so this module right here is a combination whatever thing between Woodland Scenics and Kato. The Kato double track is the t-trak standard. It's just kind of, it is the way they did it. A couple of my modules have individually laid tracks, but I switched to the double just because it made it a little easier. Once, I don't know. I know a lot of people love Kato Unitrack. I'm not a huge fan of it, but it's, you know. Robert, where were you before I pushed too hard? Yeah. Rebel Trains has enough t-trak to make a full layout in two 96 by 30 tables and a 60 by 24 table. Wow. Plus he's in a club that can build a 40 by 30. T-trak, man, it's kind of it's just like simple. It is, it's really simple. My layout back here, what will be back here when I finally get the wood to build the bench work, it'll be 64 inches by 32 inches. But, you know, it'll give me a loop to run something a little bit like my Z-scale, right? Like it just gives me a little bit of a loop so that things pass through scenery. One of the things that I miss about the shelf layout is that it's, having things, they're not passing through the scenery. They're just, I love having them back there going back and forth. Don't get me wrong. I am going to put some scenery back there, but, yeah, it's coming. It'll come eventually. What was I going to get? Oh, I want to get masking tape. I forgot to tape off the track. I thought about it about 600 times. And the reason I'm going to tape off the track is because if I ever stop talking long enough to actually do some work, I don't want to get plaster on the tracks. So we definitely want to tape these off. I'm not going to tape it real pretty. I'm going to tape the center and then kind of go out from there. I don't know why I'm doing it that way, but that's the way I'm doing it. Christmas is coming too, Heath. Yes, Christmas is coming. What is the number of the GG1 for the blackjack unit? 4935. 4935 adds up to a total of 21. So that's how they came up with that number. Not that you can order it, but you might try. There's a bunch of them on eBay. I actually really like I can't remember if they're the IHC ones. Yeah, I think they're the IHC ones. They're nice and heavy. Pretty easy to put a decoder in them. But yeah, is Anthony Dodge starting up his series again? Series 2. It's coming. It's coming. If you don't know what we're talking about, head over to Mr. Dodge's channel and look for the Matt Clark series. Heath, I think a lifelike version of your channel logo would make a great backdrop. Yeah, I would love. But the buildings in my logo are actual New York City buildings. And if I was talented enough, then I would basically, take pictures of those buildings and animate it together and basically have it kind of go from, what I would love is a train going through the city with those buildings in the background and then have it turn into my logo. I'll play my logo again, and you can actually see part of the logo animation. I hope if I hit this button right that it's gonna do it. But part of my logo animation, the idea of the different pieces coming in, was the train coming into the city and going past all of the various things. So yeah, you can clearly see all the buildings. I think one of them's like the Grace Building, and I don't remember exactly what we ended up using. But yeah, I mean, that's that'd be pretty awesome. Andy's asking, what's my shelf spacing on that shelf? Oh, why isn't it switching? Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. What is your shelf spacing? I think if you're talking about this guy back here, it's about 2 inches between tracks. So it's not a lot. It gives me enough room to put some stuff back there. I'll probably put these PGH Train Fanatic flats. I'll probably put like the Z-scale one right behind the Z-scale track and the N-scale one's right behind the N-scale track, which will give a little bit of a, spacing. So Edward says, what is an inexpensive but decent camera for recording and live streaming? Right now my BlackBerry is not up to snuff. Edward, I would probably, are you thinking about upgrading your BlackBerry at all? Meaning like your personal phone? Yeah, Edward, I mean, who can tell me do you know what the, I'm totally blanking what I was going to say. Yes, it's not a GG1, but do you know what it is? Can you name it? Dwight, how are you gonna print a GG1 shell? I mean, you can buy all the pantographs and everything. So, yeah, and that's I'm definitely gonna do that. I just got I'm still rearranging the room, the shape where things are in the room. So I haven't wanted to, I haven't wanted to really know. Oh, the height between the shelves. Let's see, height. about 9 inches. So the shelves are, it's an 8-inch shelf. So with the standard, it's about 9 inches from the wall, and they're spaced about 9 inches apart. So I'm glad Pappy's here to translate because, yeah, train rooms are in perpetual rearrangement, and that's kind of what I wanted to show as well. Is when I put together like the Love Shack and stuff. I'm gonna switch this so you can see I am actually doing some work. When I made the Love Shack, I hadn't, well, and the shed and everything, I hadn't painted anything. And I hadn't really painted anything because I didn't have the spray booth set up, and you know, I probably could have just done stains on my desk, but you know, I didn't want to deal with it. So Tom, no price tags on the boxes. No price tags. I've seen some of the pictures. I haven't read a lot of his stuff. I know he just moved it back, but yeah. Edward, let's chat about your camera thing maybe on Wednesday night after New Tracks is over. Come on over and we can get a little bit more into it. My first choice would be upgrade your phone so that you're getting a nice phone. Second thing, if the phone upgrade's not an option, is I would budget around $200 and get a Canon or Sony camcorder. If you can spend a little bit more, if you can get up to like $600, then you can start getting into things like GoPros and some other things. Yeah, what I think's pretty amazing about Rod Stewart's setup is like he'd take it with him on tour, and he'd build, when he went back to the hotel at night, he probably went out drinking a little bit, but he'd go back to the hotel at night and, build models and stuff. So local and NMRA do not go together in the same sentence, really. Andy actually went out to an NMRA meet this weekend out on Long Island. Not exactly sure how far away it was, but guessing it was an hour and a half, 2 hours. But NMRA and local aren't really a thing around here. I don't know of any NMRA t-trak divisions at all. Get an Apple Mini iPad, the new one. You can use it as a phone also. Yeah, I wouldn't want to keep that in my pocket though. That would be my thing. Oh, an hour out. That's not too bad actually. It's not too bad. Good evening, David Atkins. I need to update some of these things, but yeah, there's if people don't know, I do have an email group. I send out an email. It's not really a group, but an email newsletter thing. I send out an email basically every Monday right before Modeling Monday, just to kind of stay in touch. It has videos of what I've done over the last week and stuff like that. So that's something. email.humancity.org. So Andy, the meet that Andy went to, I can answer this question. Andy actually got me this car. It's the if I can get it to focus, the Sunrise Trail. And this was their 40th anniversary car. It must have been a little while ago, though, because it's still got the horn hook couplers on it. But, yeah. Dwight Curley, what screws for what engine? Are you talking about GG1? David, now that's funny. I voted perfection. That was a mistake. Yeah, so now we're at 52 votes, 75% make mistakes, 25% are perfect. Ah, okay. Oh, awesome. Well, you know, hey, at least you're working. I think that's, I like seeing people working. So that's all good. Yeah, Sunrise Trail Division. Well, Edward, maybe email me then. Email me more with like your budget and what kind of specifics you're looking to do, and we can kind of drill down on what is something that'll fit your budget that, you know, will meet your needs. All right, so we're almost done painting. I may not get anything done tonight. It's 10:06. I don't know why. I already feel like I'm not getting anywhere tonight. The Sunrise Trail Division, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they do like things every like Wednesday night on Zoom for people to get together and you know, hang out together and stuff. I just realized when I look down to look at my desk, you all see the glare off my head. Yes, work is overrated. Unfortunately, work is what gives me the money to do things like buy cameras, like Edward's saying. Budget. I know. Budgets are hard. It's hard because you want one of each, right? But you can't afford one of each. Let's see if I can get this to work. Somebody texted me. I don't know if it's somebody on here or if it's somebody. Come on. It was definitely charging. I haven't used the gimbal in a while. I don't know why it's giving me a hard time. I guess I should have prepared a little better for today. Well, I'll show you the new space, the modified space, and I'll try and get this working some other time. And you'll just have to accept shaky hands. Let me see. Can I? All right. So there we go. I apologize for the shakiness, but we'll start at the door. So there's the door. People were asking about where's the door, and the window's over here, and the desk is between the door and the window. So one thing that I did was I swapped her. I used to have all these drawers down here and all this stuff up here. And the problem is I couldn't see all of this stuff because it was up too high. So I swapped those two shelves. So now I could find stuff a little bit easier. But the biggest change that I did, and I'm sorry for the fast movement. Yeah, Rusty's saying I need more trains. I don't think I need more trains. But the thing that I've done recently is, so it used to be the Z-scale layout and the HO NMRBO diorama were literally just right above all of these tool boxes. And the big change that I made is that I moved this stuff way up to the top. So now this stuff is just below the upper track. And that opened up all of this space down here for me to basically put in a semi-permanent to allow me to set up my spray booth. So when I'm at the desk over here working on something, I can kind of just turn around and spray stuff right there. And I'm hoping that by having it set up all the time, I'll use it more. Oops, sorry, my finger was on the way. But Rusty was saying that I don't have enough train stuff. I know you guys have seen all this, so I think I have more than enough. I have more than enough train stuff probably for me and for everybody else. But got the Lionel piggy bank. These are my N scale trains that I don't have boxes for. So I leave them out to collect dust. And yeah. So yeah, like oh, that was bad. So the thought is, and I apologize for the shaky cam. The thought is like the Z scale will go right here, right? So like as the N scale can then go behind the Z scale, but it'll keep it in some sort of perspective. So that's kind of the idea. I need to get that all wired up. Yeah. So Athearn Blue Box stuff, right? I mean that's I used to go to the Greenberg train shows. And I'd come back with Athearn Blue Box passenger cars. And that was kind of what I got as a kid. You know, was that stuff. That's why Rusty says, that's why I wear hats in my videos. I'll check the rest of those messages a little bit later. So, yeah, the big change was basically getting this booth set up. I'll need to figure out, like, how to put a camera on it or something. I'm not really sure how that's going to work, but, you know, like, this thing that I'm working on here, right? It's like I can just take it over to the spray booth and just give it a coat of something and, you know, go from there. So, yeah, so this... I'm not really sure. Let's see. I don't know if this will be like I think this is like a little much for a creek bed. But I want to bring it up a little bit. Maybe what I should do is... Thanks, John. Thanks for coming. Is what painted yet, Artie? Is the paint booth painted yet? No. Yeah, so Rebel, unfortunately, I did build all those kits, but I built them... I built the kits when I was 14, 15 maybe. And I had no idea what I was doing, and, you know. Yeah. Use Talus at the opening. What's Talus? The module. So the module, so what I did, yes, there were some washes applied. I applied some washes just to kind of fill some stuff in, but it's not, I wouldn't say that it's painted. Not really. So what I think I want to do, oh, I sent pictures of my bald-headed self. I didn't look, I just saw that you sent the text and I read the first part. Oh, Talus is large rocks. So I do have some of these rocks here too, and these rocks are smaller. So I might be able to use those a little bit better. So one thing that I do is every time I do anything with plaster and I end up with extra plaster, I just make rocks out of it. So I end up with, you know, pieces of rock-shaped things to kind of work with. And I mean, the other thing that I might do, what I think I'm going to do over here is I'm just going to lay a thin layer of Sculptamold over this to kind of smooth it out. Because like right now I can't really, like, this doesn't, I mean, I could put it like up on pylons or something, but for N scale, I just feel like it's just too it's just too much. Like, it's out of scale. There's just too much going on for N scale. So that's why I kind of thought that, you know, maybe if I got some, you know, some stuff going on and filled it in a little bit and raised, you know, raise things up and, you know, squish things down a little bit, that I can raise the level up, still have some of the, still get some of the details and stuff. Like, even like just putting like this here on the wall. You can't really see that, but, you know, even just adding that to the wall just changes the look of it so much. And that's kind of what I want to, I kind of feel like I rushed it, maybe you could say. So yeah, need an N scale hammer to make those rocks a little smaller. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna. So what I'm thinking I'm gonna do is take the bigger rocks, glue them down, kind of get them where I need to, and then I'll put some like little rocks in to fill them, and I'll get some Sculptamold and kind of mold that in as well to help kind of bring a lot of this stuff together, if you know what I mean. But I think actually I'm just gonna put some rock wall pieces up here. I know it's not really a rock wall, but we're just gonna put some pieces on. I just feel like, I don't know. It just seems like it was just too sterile almost, or too, I don't know. Trying to find something that sort of cut the right way. I'm debating whether to use this big piece. I got this whole like, so these are all the Woodland Scenic rock molds, and I just used plaster of Paris. So, yeah. Yeah, I a lot of people do that. I don't have any, is kind of why I'm doing what I'm doing. I know that that's the way a lot of people do it, is with the, with the stuff, and then it oozes out between the corners. I could probably mix up some plaster and stuff. Keep the geological formation the same above and below the track. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Make it all look like the same area. This stuff will definitely get smoothed out. I think a lot of what this is I just need to fill in these areas. I think up here is going to be like trees and stuff. So, yeah, I was looking for aquarium pebbles too to fill this in. Everything I found was so huge though. Kind of like all this plaster stuff. I guess I just figured that with the plaster stuff, it might, the plaster stuff might, I can break it up a little more or whatever, but we'll see. I mean, this is, again, or I think I've kind of mentioned this. This is sort of like chainsaw layout stuff for me, right? So this is just me. Yeah, I know. I could go watch a bunch of YouTube videos and figure out how to do it right and all that good stuff. But, this is kind of me doing chainsaw layout type stuff. I'm just playing, I'm just kind of figuring it out as I go. Just learning. I probably should mix up some plaster Paris or Sculptamold or something to put these on. Probably definitely hold better. Shouldn't you be doing the Sculptamold first? The idea is to use the bigger rocks to kind of level it off, and then I'll use the Sculptamold to fill it in. So the rocks have way too much detail not way too much detail. The rocks are too steep and jagged for N scale. So the idea would be to just put the sculptor mold on it to try and cover it up. Yeah, so my attempt at water, I'm going to do the Marklin from Sweden method of water, which is basically the toilet paper method of water. So that's what's going to happen. Yeah. I agree, Rusty. I do as well. This is just me experimenting. Like, this is probably not the way to do this kind of stuff. This is just the way I want to try doing it for now. I want to sort of see what I kind of want to see what I can come up with. I've got this vision in my head. I'm not really working from I'm not working from pictures or anything. This is just kind of the vision in my head, and I'm just kind of going with it. You know, we'll see if it works. This may work terribly. The chances of this working terribly, I would say, are very, very high. But, you know, it's all good. Yeah, and I can follow the other videos and do things the way everyone's done them. And, that's definitely one way of learning. And for whatever reason, I'm doing something a little different this time. I don't know why. This is how I'm insisting on doing this. But this is what I want to do. So it's what I'm doing. This probably would be easier to put down with plaster instead of with glue. But I guess I'm kind of, I don't know. I know, like, when you put it down with plaster, it, like, fills in all the gaps and stuff. So I'm trying to make this a little bit narrower of a path of water. That looks good, right? The water cuts through the rocks. I am really thinking, all right, we're going to do it. We're going to make a mess. Here, if people are curious, these are some of the rock molds. I need to clean them off. I didn't clean them off after the last time. I also didn't have mold release. I just bought mold release. I didn't realize mold release was basically just sort of water and soap. So I need to clean these off, but this is, that's how it goes. All right. I am terrible at figuring out the right consistency when mixing plaster of Paris and stuff. So I've got this bottle with a small opening, so I'm gonna try to do it. Yeah. Thanks, True Dudes. I'm gonna try and do it slowly. Try and add water slowly until I get the consistency I want. What always happens for me is that when I get it the right consistency, it then dries really quickly on me. Especially when I'm doing a live stream, it dries quickly on me, and then I end up, I end up talking too much, and then it dries, and yeah, it's just a big mess, usually. Usually it's just a big mess. Soak those in a bucket of water and soap. Yeah, I'll clean them up. One of the hard parts, see, I've already screwed up. One of the hard parts about, I know I could, but then I would need, like, measuring things. This way I just kind of, like, make a mess. Honestly, if I could read the directions on here, Sets in 20 to 30 minutes, a working time of 6 to 10 minutes. Blah, 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 blah. Covered mixing. Add 2 parts DAP to 1 part of cold water. So, I don't know if that's what I did or not. I do not have water in the studio, which is why I've got this water here. I've got a spray bottle of water here, and I have drinking water in the corner. So yes, it is a 2-to-1 ratio. These are mixing cups, so theoretically I could mix it. Yeah, plaster dries quick, so we are going to. So, and theoretically, I heard too, if you wet the stuff and then use the plaster, it supposedly actually helps it stick better. So I don't, yeah, this is a little too soupy, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'll just mix more when it dries. I've got enough of these mixing cups that I don't really need to worry about the mixing cups. So let's get in here and start putting down some of these guys. So I don't know where that tip came from of wetting this stuff, but it supposedly just helps it. It helps it kind of bond somehow. I don't really know how or why. And this is going to. I'm trying to push it to break it, to get it in there a little better. I thought I had these lined up pretty well at one point. I think I've just got too much. I've got too much space, I think, to really fill in. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how well this plaster is working. I think it's a little too drippy. But it's getting stuff done. It's getting in there. Heath, I've seen Luke do it. Yeah. That's the other thing too, is part of why I like just sort of doing my own experimentation is, yeah, like I've seen other people do all this stuff, but then like when I try it, it just seems like so much harder. And it's like, why? Like, I watch people like paint things with an airbrush, and it's like they just make it look so easy. And it's like every time I try and do stuff, it just seems really hard. Just seems hard. But yeah, I don't have any running water, so I just sort of make do with what I got. Wetting concrete blocks helps too. Like when you're talking about concrete blocks, like real concrete blocks, like in 1-to-1 scale, Martin. But yeah, I guess that is where maybe it was Luke that I saw that always says like spray, spray the stuff. Don't really know why, but yeah, it's something to do, I guess. And we're almost out, so we'll have to mix some more up in a sec. Just trying to get a couple more pieces and stuff glued down. Yeah, we were definitely going to make a mess doing this, that's for sure. You'll notice I have brown paper down on my desk. That's so that when I do make a mess, I can just pull it up and put down some new brown paper. Hey, Cameron, what's happening? Oh, I just splattered myself. Where'd it go? I definitely just splattered myself. That wasn't good. Yeah. Edward, and that's what I love about doing it on the live streams too, is that like you guys can see I'm not editing out the 600 terrible tries. Like I'm just doing it, you know, and when it, you know, yeah. What I need to get is a mixing cup, and there's like a ton of them upstairs, and for whatever reason, I keep forgetting, so I just dumped this all over the table. Okay. Is this fun for anybody else? So now my hands are covered. So I'm not sure exactly how to get the comments off the screen. Here we go. We got paper towels. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this is great. Yeah, I don't know if you can see, there's now plaster dust all over my keyboard. Woo, good thing I get to work here tomorrow morning. Who convinced me to do this? Yeah, you know, it's like we really have to remember that, you know, and like a guy like Luke has been doing this for a long time, right? So it's like I'm, you know, I've done very little of this type of thing, you know, so it's a huge learning curve. But I'm already liking some of this already. I like my little things a little narrower over here. My little water path. I need to put some more rocks here for the waterfall. But things are already getting a little. This could be better than blue smoke. Yeah. Do you see? So I have to clean all this up as well once this stream is over. So that's the other side of the fun for me, right? You guys get to just you get to turn off YouTube and stop watching while I get to spend time cleaning all this up. I feel like I'm on step one with decals like Train Freak. Better dust in the keyboard than water. Yeah, I know, right? I do. My keyboard tray, I don't know if you saw it, it comes in and out, so I can kind of, you know, I can kind of hide it underneath a little bit. Just get a little, so I'm kind of thinking this here, I'm thinking is going to be underwater. So I don't, you know, it doesn't need to be. Doesn't need to be perfect. You need to add more plaster to that mix. Yeah. I'm kind of using it as glue right now. But yes, I agree. I'm terrible at mixing plaster. And see what happens though is it's already starting to dry out. That's more like a slurry than a plaster. So is that, I mean, it's drying out on me, and it's definitely paste-like. That is for sure. It's definitely a paste. I do kind of like that you can just sort of push the rocks into the, you know, into the wall and just sort of have them, you know, crack. And yeah, see, like you're saying put more water in it. It's like, it's already like, it's already drying on me. Did I mention this is going to be a chainsaw module? Yeah, kind of like, it's funny when you, like both of these look like they kind of came out of the same, these both came out of the same rock mold. So I'm looking at them both together. Maybe this piece. Oh, yep. See, plaster's already drying. It is definitely a plaster now. It is definitely no longer watery. Plaster makes the best roads, yeah. Don't chainsaw it. Send it to me and I'll give it to a safe home. Yeah, when I see chainsaw it, I don't, like, I'm not going to literally chainsaw this. It is more that I will, I'll likely eventually just sort of give it away. Oh, see, now it's starting to come up. Yeah, see, plaster dry. This is definitely, I think this is, maybe it's still okay. But it is definitely getting to the point where, I don't know about anybody else, but I'm curious. I'm definitely curious to see how this is going to work out. Definitely has more texture to it, that's for sure. Whether having more texture is a good thing or not, I think we'll still find out later. I'll need to probably like cut a river or something into this. Yeah. I may try adding a little bit of water to this to see if I can bring it back to life. I'd use it as filler now. Yeah, but it's like hard. It's hard. All right, so I added a little bit of water. See if I can get it to come back just a little bit. At least a little bit enough to... Nope. See, I'm... See? Probably should have put gloves on. I guess what fun would that be? Yeah, see, now I'm just making a mess. There's a great learning curve, and that's what Heath should call it. See what I did there? I get it, because it's a curved structure. I don't know if you probably can't see it, but there is like plaster dust just like flying up into the air as I attempt to yeah, this is dry. See, and this is what I don't know. Like, I feel like I didn't yeah, I know it is caustic. Yeah, I should probably have a mask on, shouldn't I? And this is the problem I always have is like if I mix it to not watery, it dries out so fast that then I can't use it. If I mix it too watery, then, you know, then I have the opposite problem. So I don't really know what the best solution is to, you know, to using plaster like that. I kind of feel like, too, to some extent, like I could just drop stuff in here and then just put glue over it and it'll kind of stay. When I say put glue over it, I mean just like I have I need it into sciences, that's my workroom. Yeah, so like here's a mix of glue and water that I have. It's like part of me just wonders, like, if I just spray it down, will it just like, oh, I was hoping this would work. Let's see. Come on. Come on. Come on. It might be clogged. Yeah, don't touch the glasses. Yes, it definitely would have helped to wear gloves, especially because I'm in a room where I don't really have things to clean up. I don't know. I was hoping this glue would come out, but it's not spraying at all. This is definitely an older bottle of glue. So that could be part of the problem. Yeah, gloves would probably be good. Face mask would probably be good. A lot of things would probably be good. I do have mix it in smaller batches. I also find a cold beer relaxes me. So this was the original bucket that I was using when I would mix plaster. I've got a bunch of these smaller cups to mix it, and I only mixed like down to here on this cup, so it wasn't that much. I think it's time for a new paint bottle. I don't think I've used this one in a while. I think they're up here. So I got these off of Amazon. Just a whole bunch of little spray bottles. So the reason I'm spraying this now is so that as things dry, I'm hoping it kind of sets. Yeah, glue is definitely not great with spraying. That is for sure. Especially it's gunked up on the bottom here. So I think that probably has a lot to do with it. I find if I mix it and spray it right away, it works pretty well. Really depends on the ratio as well. So yeah, and I'm just kind of spraying these just to trying to just make sure that they sort of stay, because I have a feeling that they're not gonna stay. Yeah, and I've got a lot of like spaces and stuff too. I have a lot of spaces I'll have to fill in. Figure something out. Ooh, I kind of like that there. I'm real big on too. I like the trains going through stuff. So that's a lot what I'm trying to do as well is, you know, create things so that the rocks come up above the eye line. And when I say eye line, like if you were looking straight on at the train, obviously I'm not going to build N scale rocks that, you know, come way up, but like, you know, putting this guy here, you know, now when I look across this way, the rock is higher than the bottom of the edge. Yeah, you know, honestly, it's like these bottles are so cheap that should I clean them? Probably, but you know, they're kind of cheap to the point where I don't know that I really care. I just let them clog up. And possum, that's genius. You can also use dryer sheets with plaster, like plaster cloth, where don't waste water or beer in the plaster. It's for drinking. Yeah, so I actually saw it wasn't in model railroading. It was in some other like genre of modeling. A guy used wet wipes. He did a bunch of testing and basically found that the wet wipes gave him the desired sort of like waviness that he really wanted for his, you know, for what he was doing. And I thought that was pretty smart, actually. Yeah, see, if I put this here, I don't know how I'm going to get the water. I don't know how I'll get the water down through there. But I need some, like, you know, longer, skinnier kind of things to drop in here. There we go. Get that up there. Yeah, see, I'm afraid a little bit that some of these sort of things are going to be too steep to make sense for N scale, but I definitely kind of like, though, these rock molds definitely make this all seem more organic. You know, it's a little bit more of a natural, it's a little bit more of a natural looking setup. Ooh, I want to get this in there. That'd make a good waterfall. The water will find its way in where it needs to go, yeah. Senpai says he accidentally learned some tricks tonight. Yeah, AKA don't watch me. Let's see. Cut and scratch. Let's see. I don't know if this is going to do what I want it to do. That's kind of, I like that right there. Because then I can make the, I can like make the thing go over. I can make the water go up over that. You know, and then come down the way. I don't know if that's actually going to hold that in place or not. Probably not. This one probably definitely is going to need some plaster behind it. Trying to think too. I kind of like this Alien's glue and I kind of hate this Alien's glue at the same time. It just takes a long time to set up. And it's hard to get out of the bottle. But, oh. Yeah, it definitely takes a while to dry. Oh, I didn't follow the directions that came with my kit to paint rocks. I found the combo I want to get the limestone look. Yeah. That's what, you know, again, I mean, this is kind of just an experiment for me. This whole thing is just an experiment. You know, I don't, you know, like right now all the rocks are like different colors and stuff, and that just kind of looks weird, but I want to, one of the things I definitely want to do is extend, I'd like to extend this out a little bit. That guy will fit in there. So I don't really know. Aliens, yeah. Aliens tacky glue. I don't want to touch the camera. ALEENE''S. Tacky glue. It's kind of, I think it's just a PVA glue that's like really, that's tackier but dries slower, I think. I think it's used a lot in crafting. I don't know for crafting what. But this glue, the way this glue sits is there's a little, you know, it's supposed to sit upside down like that so that it's ready to come out. I just forget sometimes to leave it like that. Yeah, I don't know how much of this is gonna stay. I'm definitely thinking somehow I'll definitely need to do some sort of slurry coat over this to kind of get things, you know, to get things more fixed in place. Oh, yeah, you can see like all this stuff's already falling off. There we go. That rock looks good by the entrance there. I also fixed our screen door latch with wood glue and toothpicks. Hey, you know, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. No. Just random pieces of rock. I also want to build this up out here a little bit too, like to make like a sort of a natural rock face. So how many downvotes do I, or thumbs down do I have from my haters already? I went and looked last night when I was on Sidetrack Sunday. I was looking at how many thumbs down I had, and I had like 8 thumbs down on some of my live streams. And it was like, what am I doing that people hate my streams so much? I don't know that I necessarily care, but I mean, I do care, kinda. But just gotta keep going. Just keep going. Yeah, see, this will be nice. This will be nice when I start trying to put some water in this. Once I paint this all one color, I think it'll help. What I kind of want to do is, if I get like a slurry coat wet enough and just like kind of put it where I want the water to go, so it just sort of like flows in and fills in its own gaps, I guess you can kind of say. Create a paste with tile grout and I've been looking for decent tile grout to use for the modeling. Kathy Millett actually just did a big thing, and she said that, yeah, Daniel, I know they're trolls. But Kathy Millett just did a whole video on how like her favorite modeling item is tile grout. I don't know what to buy. I guess that's where I get stuck is, you know, it's like I see that and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go buy tile grout, and then I'm like, oh, I don't know what to buy. But yeah, tile grout would be good to fill some of this in. Fill in some of these, you know. I'm basically just trying to throw pieces of rock in now where, you know, it might kind of sit to just kind of get some more rock stuff in here. But yeah, tile grout, that's actually a great idea to get some tile grout and use that to help fill in some of these cracks and stuff, or to fill in some of these gaps. I use hot glue a lot because it dries quick. Yeah, hot glue is pretty good, but I also, oh, you know what? I just realized too. I was actually at Home Depot today. The shelves that the paint booth is sitting on is from Home Depot. So it's like I could have gone into the tile grout section and just grabbed a bunch of cheap tile grout, and I totally just completely forgot. So that would have been a smart thing to do. I really want to get this to like stay here somehow. I don't know how to make that stay there though. I want it like at this angle. Because I want to fill all this in. I want to fill all this in and then smooth out all of this. Smooth this all out so that it, you know, it can, let's see, I don't know that this is going to work at all. Oh, you know what? I can do this. Let's try this. I keep putting the bottle down the wrong way. They're disgruntled Jets fans. I don't follow any sports, so as far as I know, the Jets are doing great this year. Do the Jets ever do great? I'm kind of hoping if I put enough glue on that it'll stick enough that when I come back with the plaster, I can then kind of, you know, I can then sort of smooth out over it and it'll work out okay. You know, just kind of placing stuff, sort of trying to make it. Yeah, I mean, the goal is definitely going to be to try and fill in some of these deeper crevices so that only the tops of the rocks are going to be here as well. So yeah, I'll definitely fill a lot of this gaps in with some sort of liquid mess to, you know, kind of hide a lot of the imperfections. I'll maybe tilt the module on certain angles. Steve 87. He said the problem with tile grout is every 5 to 7 years you have to rip it out and put it back down. Yeah, tile grout though, that would be a really good idea for this. Is tile grout and PVA glue. Boy, I wish I would have gotten some tile grout while I was at Home Depot today, because that would have been a smart move. A smart move. Not since that pantyhose wearing. What? I don't know what is going on in the chat. Oh, you sand to fill the gaps. That's interesting. The problem, yeah, I'd have to buy the sand. The only sandbox that I know of around here, I would be afraid of bringing that sand in. Just because it's, yeah, I would be afraid of bringing that sand in. So, yeah, I mean, this is kind of the idea that I was looking for, was just kind of you know, just kind of making something happen. There's definitely more work to do on this. I don't like this, this plaster hardened up in a way I don't like. When in doubt, just chop it out. Yeah, this is definitely going in the trash later. Yeah, I like that tile grout idea. Now I'm really wishing I had tile grout. Because that would be like, because that'll self-level. Like if I make it, you know, if I do the mix right, I can kind of just get it to self-level. And then I could, like, you know, tilt it up on an angle to kind of, to help fill it all in, you know, where I want it. Woodland Scenic's ballast or the like is also sand. Oh, interesting idea. I do have some Woodland Scenic ballast that would probably There we go. I've got some Woodland Scenics fine gray ballast. That's actually a great idea, would be to just use this to fill some of it in. Split rock, every square inch doesn't need a rock. What I'm just trying to do is build this up a little bit. I felt like it was just way too low. So I'm really just using these rocks just to really help, to some extent, just to help increase the height of it. Just because I thought it was just way too high or way too low. So it's not that every inch needs a rock. I'm just trying to fix a mistake, I guess. Or I'm trying to fix what I think is a mistake. I just, yeah. I just really want the whole thing higher in general. I just think in like N scale that, that it was just too low. So I'm going to try and, I'll try and fill a lot of this. I'll try and fill a lot of these gaps in with, probably something like this. I'm tempted to try it. I'm tempted to try dumping some of this down here on the bottom and kind of filling all that in and seeing what it looks like. What I'm a little worried about, do you think, should I try with this and then use like the glue moisture to wet it down, or should I go get tile grout instead? I mean, it's essentially the same thing, right? I mean, it would essentially work the same if I kind of, I'm kind of thinking if I, sprinkle this down. He's not listening to me, Norman. What are you saying? Are you talking to me, Flying Crow? The stuff from Scenic Express is real raw. Yeah, so I have Arizona Rock and Mineral is the nice stuff that I have. This was some cheap stuff that I got, to get it. But this is what I use for like ballasting my track and stuff like that. I'm kind of using this right now because it's cheap and I want to get rid of it. But yeah, this is, I try and use this real rock stuff. And here's a little brushy brush. Yeah, see, I feel like too, like once I, if I fill this up a little bit more too, I mean, I'm not gonna fill it up more necessarily right now. But then once I kind of spray it down and stuff, that in N scale, I think it's gonna, yeah, Sparky, cheap stuff and model railroading don't go together. That is usually very, very true. But yeah, like if I use this to fill these gaps, I think I'm liking this. I'm kind of glad I tried this. I was a little afraid, but I think in N scale, I mean, it's a little even, just because it's all kind of the same size. It's a little too even, but it's not bad. It's not bad for what it is. But yeah, let's take some of it off the tops of the rocks, get it down in underneath. We'll spray it with some rubbing alcohol, and we'll. Did I just say rubbing alcohol? Is that right? IPA. We'll spray it with some IPA. And this will fill things in kind of nice. And maybe help hold some of this hold some of this in place a little bit better. And it also, it's evening, it's evening things out. So some of the pits, I'm also just trying to fill in some of these bigger gap areas. I guess the one thing I'm a little bit afraid of is like that there's going to be like big gaps underneath that like I'm creating. I don't know. I like this though. I think this is gonna come in handy to create the. I'm really just doing this to create the base layer. This isn't the final layer. This is just to give this some shape, just to give this some, just to give it some movement and stuff. Just gonna use some alcohol spray just to wet this down so that the glue will hopefully flow better. I don't have much more glue in this little mixture, so we'll oh, I'm like almost already out of glue. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. A little bit more. Yeah, I'm liking this little ballast idea. I think once I actually like paint it, and get a little bit more of an even paint to it, it'll be good. Texture. Yeah, Sparky, texture. Texture. Is that not what it's called? Texture? Put glue in a pipette and make sure I can. I've got this. I don't have any more glue. I used to have a tub of the glue, and I don't think I have it anymore. Yeah, I don't have the tub of glue. Disclosing. Let's see. Okay, that's gloss. We don't want the gloss. We want the matte. Here's the matte. Master static grass. Man, it's going to take a long time to clean up tonight with all this stuff you guys have me doing. We'll get another mixing cup here. And we'll put some glue in it. We ask you questions to texture knowledge. Yeah. Yeah, Wicked Insanity. I bought a pack of like 250, which was like the cheapest set I could find, and it's just crazy the amount. Crazy the amount. So I never remember. Are you supposed to put the soap in the glue mix, or do you put the soap in with the alcohol? I never remember which, and it looks like. Oh, that was dumb. Apparently there's a little thing down here that I have to remove that I didn't remove. I don't really want to use this. I don't want to use that. I want to use something else. I know you can't see me. I'm coming right back. Grabbing a tool to get the this thing's got a little piece of something in it, you know, to keep it closed, and it was preventing the soap from coming out. Okay, so let's see. Soap, 70% lime and 30% tequila. Yeah, so I put the soap in here because I'm gonna use so little of it that you know, that's the plan there. And so I've got 1 ounce of water, or 1 ounce of glue. So I'll run this up to 2 ounces, which will be about a 50-50 mix. And then we'll take a look at that, and we'll see if a 1-to-1 works. If 1-to-1 is, if 1-to-1's not good enough, we'll switch it. We have succeeded in, yes, Norman, I blame you for all this. This was definitely, this has your name written all over it. Definitely, definitely, definitely. So here's the thing with this glue mixture too. And one of the reasons I don't like t-trak is when you try and ballast t-trak and you take like a pipette full of glue, it doesn't soak into anything because the track is plastic. So you're putting on all this glue and it's just running all over the place. I'm creating a toxic mixture. I mean, you know, it's got soap in it, so it's clean. See, I'm going to need to get some, you can't really see, but I'm going to need to get some ballast back in there at some point. I'll need to find a spoon or something. I'm going to come in the morning to clean all this up, and this thing's going to be like glued to my desk probably. Just to clean the spray nozzle afterwards. Yeah, all this, like these pipettes and these little spray bottles, I just have so much of this stuff that I know it's wasteful. I just keep using it until it kind of stops working, and then I just replace it. I like this ballast idea. Whoever said grab the cheap ballast and throw it down, you win the prize for tonight, because this is definitely starting to look like something. It runs all over. I use t-trak too, but in the end it looks great. Yeah, you just have to, I didn't know the first time I did it. I just didn't realize that it was like gonna run all over the place. So here I was like, you know, ballasting it like I ballast regular track. And next thing I know, it's just, there's just stuff everywhere. Oops. That was a little more than I expected over here, but we'll fix some of that. Yeah, see, this is, now this is starting to look more exactly like I envisioned when I'm filling in all these cracks. This is definitely the right move. This is what I wanted. Definitely what I wanted. Don't try this at home, kids. Or do. No, actually, I mean, this experimenting's kind of fun, right? I mean, just, you know. Worst case scenario, I can just rip all this out. Like, you know, there's you know, this would be so easy to just rip out too, because of the way it's, you know, the way it's all in here. So it's like, why not just give it a little bit of a Give it a little bit of a try. You know, some of this is going to be covered with toilet paper at some point. So, you know, we all like toilet paper. Yeah, Marklin of Sweden did the toilet paper thing. John from Schuylkill River Valley did the toilet paper thing on one of his last sidetrack Sundays. So that, you know, if you don't know what we're talking about with the toilet paper thing, it's a couple videos to check out there. Don't ask how I learned about Gorilla Glue. Uh-oh. It says I would not do this at home. Yeah, if I was doing this in the apartment right now, as easygoing as my girlfriend can be at times, she would not be happy with this process. I can say. But yeah, I like this little spray bottle for the alcohol. I just keep filling it back up. It's, you know. I have probably put enough glue in this thing to make this hard as a rock. And hey, no glue's come out the bottom yet. I'd say that's pretty good. I do kind of want to figure out how to get ballast down in underneath this, but I think I'll need to kind of tip this up on end to, oh geez. That is not what I wanted to happen. That was too much. Well, I'm gonna let me see. Oh no! Now I've done it. Yeah, I had a feeling that was going to be a mistake. But I dumped way too much of the ballast on there. I think this falls into the stop while you're ahead category. I probably should have not put that last bit on. So I thought it was definitely looking good, and then I thought it was looking much better. And then I put that last little bit up top, and I think that was my downfall. Don't do what Heath did. I think it'll still be okay once I paint it, but yeah, that was definitely a big fudge moment. That was a mistake. Mistake. What I need to do is just let what's here dry, because when I made the mistake and put too much on up here, see, I thought, oh, I'll just put it on up here. But when I made the mistake of putting too much on up top, it's sticking to all the rocks down on the bottom, which is not necessarily what I wanted. It's still a pretty good shape for N scale. Can't tell though, like, does it look... It's hard to know if it looks too sandy. Like, before it was more rocky, and now it's very sandy, and I don't know... You know, in N scale, that might be okay. Probably, because N scale rocks are probably, you know, probably better shaped. But yeah, it was, you know, so I do this all the time, right? Like it was going really well, and I started to really like the way it looked. And because I really liked the way it looked, I wanted to keep going. You know, I wanted to keep going. I wanted to keep seeing what I can do. And like, I wanted to get more of it done tonight. Like, I didn't want to wait another day. I wanted to do it tonight. And I pushed ahead, and I think now, like, some of these areas, I think I might have too much sand. I don't know though, like if the water comes out of the culvert, I'm like pointing at stuff you can't see. If the water comes out of the culvert here, it'll settle now like here. Like I'll have a little island, and then I'll have like a little bit of water like around here. So I think it'll still be nice, and there'll be a nice little waterfall coming over here. And then this side here, I'll build up to put like his shack out here on the side, and I'll make a little way for him to get down there. But I think once this dries, I'll be able to tip it up. Once it dries more, I'll be able to tip it up and fill in these gaps and stuff up here. And that's really what I was, wanted to do, was get more in there, and I was just rushing, and I should have just stopped. But I do love like some of the textures here, like the way it comes here, and there's like a nice ledge there now. And I think like the way this sort of rock comes up and out, you know, it'll come up and out of the water, I think looks nice. I really like the way these rocks are coming out. This rock wall, this face, looks so much better. So there's definitely more work to do. It's 11:22, so yeah, I will definitely be coloring the water. If you use recycled toilet paper, you don't have to paint it later. Yeah, that's true. Oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. Okay, I thought I messed up my controller. My hands are a little dirty. Yeah, I'm definitely walking away from it now. Progress was definitely made. I may have messed up some stuff also, but I think if I come back and fill, there's a couple more areas that I can definitely like fill in with more ballast. But stream down. I see it fine. It's saying I'm green. It's saying I'm streaming. The learning curve. I like that. Split Rock, you have to remind me of that. I think I will label this the learning curve. That's actually a really great that's a really great title for this. The learning curve. I like that. Sparky, is the stream really down? Z Fantasy just showed up, so it's definitely time to wrap it up. No, I'm just kidding. I have the stream playing in 2 different places, so I'm 99% sure it's still working. But thanks everyone for being here. Really appreciate the super chats. You can see, you know, people that are YouTube members. You can see my logo next to their name in different colors based on how long they've been members. And this has been a lot of fun for me. You know, this is Rebel and Trains. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. Dragon Ball Tech, yes, still going at least for another 30 seconds, but I am about to wrap this up and move on. I definitely think this is 8 months, Roy. Can you believe that? I definitely think this is a huge improvement. If you go back and look at the thumbnail of this stream and then look at it now, I definitely think that this was, you know, this is just a huge improvement from from where it was. There's just a lot more texture, a lot more interesting elements, and I'll be able to go to sleep knowing that I accomplished something, and we'll keep working on this. I want to get the shack, I want to get the shed, I want to get all that stuff on it, and yeah, you know, have a really great week, everybody, and I'll see you guys Wednesday night for Technology as a Tool, Not as an Obstacle. And yeah, see you all soon.
It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.